Okay, hey guys, as you can see I've managed to get my hands on one of these PlayStation Vitas, and I didn't actually intend to buy one, but I was just scrolling through eBay and I found a deal which was ridiculous. It was like £170 for the Vita, a 4GB memory card and 3 games, and I'm selling 2 of them because I just think they're awful. The 2 I'm selling are Unit 13 and Wipeout 2048. I mean, if you look at Unit 13 as a game, it pretty much looks as if it was made for the DS, something like that. You know, it just looks awful. And Wipeout, I mean, it's not made at the native res, so it's quite blurry, and also has constant frame rate drops. So one thing I'd say about the Vita is if you're going to buy it, you might want to wait, because firstly, it's going to get better support for things like Flash and that kind of thing. It's still in its, even though it's been 6 months, it's still in its early stages, and the games will be better optimized. Pretty much all the games you find on the Vita at the minute are do suffer from frame rate drops, and you know, to start with they only run at about 30 frames per second anyway, so maybe I wouldn't totally recommend it. And the actual amount of games is pretty low at the minute. The one game I will probably keep for now is FIFA Football, which is essentially FIFA 12, but for the Vita. And I'll just quickly show you how that looks and plays, just for a little, because I'm crap at FIFA anyway. One thing I did notice, especially on Wipeout, is the loading times are ridiculous. Not so much of an issue in this game, but for that game it was just horrendous. You'd be like waiting for like a minute before each race. So it was almost unplayable, because you just wanted to get over with. The speakers, they're pretty good, alright. You know, they're a little bit muffled maybe, but I mean, this device does come with a lot of stuff, and although it's expensive, you know, you gotta credit that it's actually got, you know, front camera, back camera, 2 joysticks, you know, the Wi-Fi. It's got a lot of stuff. Rear touch, front touch, and it all works really well. I do love the front touchscreen. It's really responsive. I haven't actually really used the back one or anything except FIFA, where it doesn't work particularly well. You can use it to aim. I'll also do a quick comparison with the previous generation's PSP. So, you know, I'll do a bit of this, you know. Not that you want to see me do that. And then basically you can use your rear finger to aim, which didn't work. Die, man. See that you can kind of, you just slide your finger across here, and wherever that is in relation to the goal is where you'll shoot, as you can see. And I mean, it may just take some getting used to, but at the minute I'm finding it quite hard to use. Could just be me though. But yeah, I mean, the graphics, they're nice. They're quite good on this game. It's similar to the PS3 and Xbox 360. Not quite there though, especially on the texture side of things. And you do get frame rate drops, especially when there's a scene where there's a lot of things going on at once, which is what I find kind of annoying. And yeah, that's one cool thing, that you can multitask kind of easily and just get out of stuff quickly. I'm just gonna literally just stick a PSP right next to it, and we're gonna load the same game. Just to see what the kind of difference is in how it looks. Note that the Vita did take longer to load, but the contrast ratio on the Vita is miles ahead. I don't know how well you can see this, but And the game looks much better on the Vita. There is a slight bit of pixelation, but I'm going to actually go into the game and just get off this. And wow, that music is annoying. Yeah, if you do play PSP games on your Vita, you can hold on the screen like this. You get some options. Top one is bilinear filtering, and that basically, you tick that box and it smooths out the edges a bit. Works on most games. If you tick this colour space box, what it'll do is it'll basically adjust the colours so they look like what they would in the PSP. So basically, you know, crapping them up a little bit. So I wouldn't check that for you. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I might play it for a little bit on here, just so you can see what it plays like. I find the buttons on the Vita do feel a lot nicer than they do on the PSP as well. They're a little bit clicky, whereas PSPs are more mushy. I know my guys are crap, but I've just started the game, so... And bang. That's what I love about it, so you can literally, as soon as you're ready, you're back in. And out again. So yeah, I think it just instantly freezes the game, so you don't have to bother turning it off or whatever if you just want to quickly do something else. But one thing you can't do is sort of browse the internet while the game's running. So say like you suddenly needed to find out how to complete something, you can't really do that. It doesn't work. But you can listen to music, which is cool. It works well. The battery life is pretty insane actually. Unless it's telling me wrong, it's still on apparently full charge, and I charged it this morning, so after about 2 hours of use it's still saying it's on full, unless my indicator's faulty. That's pretty good. Internet browser's not brilliant. I'd rather use my phone, which is an Android, because it's much better than this, but I'd say the YouTube and Facebook apps both work well. I mean, yeah, they're highly optimized, so everything works very smoothly with them. And the actual interface is very simple, so everything's basically an app, including the settings. You have to go through this starting app as if it's an app, so it does seem a little bit disjointed, but it gets the job done, you know. And you just close things by swiping them as if they're paper or something. Yeah, a lot of this stuff most people probably won't use, but it's there. And yeah, Google Maps is a bit of a nightmare. Similar to the browser, as soon as you look away from a certain part and then you look back, everything has to reload. So it's not really worth using. Again, I'd rather use the phone. But for actual games, I'm also gonna have to say the PS Vita's a bit limited at the minute. I'd maybe wait. There's a couple of big titles like Assassin's Creed and stuff like that coming out. If you can grab yourself a really good deal, then yeah, it's worth it. But if you're in no hurry, I would personally wait until there's some better titles out there, really, because I'm not really particularly fond of FIFA, and I just feel there's not really enough to justify buying the Vita, especially considering that pretty much every game out of the minute doesn't really work so well with it. There's not one game that's kind of like, you know what I mean, like really good. The only AAA title is Uncharted, which is, it's a bit, it doesn't run at the native res. It's quite cut down from the PS3's version, and it also it's apparently very hard to control because the analog sticks are too twitchy, something like that. and it's highly unoptimized as well, so frame rate drops and all that. So quick summary, I really like the console. It's got a real weight to it, even though it's actually not as heavy as the PSP. It kind of just feels a lot more solid in your hands. Each button gives a satisfying click when you press it, and the joysticks do feel quite nice. They've got like a rubbery kind of finish, so you know they don't stick to your hands or anything, and they do return to their place. Both the front and back camera are pretty average. You know, they're not good by today's standards, but you know they're enough for augmented reality and Skype calls and that kind of thing. So I mean, I think that's what they're designed for. So yeah, I mean, basic photos, videos look great on the screen, because you know, I mean, I'll quickly compare it to the PSP again. The resolution is almost doubled, or maybe more than doubled. Don't know if you can tell, but the sharpness is drastically increased. If I tell that, no, maybe not. And the contrast and everything just looks, you know, blows the PSP out the water. It really does. So if you've got a PSP and you're a big fan, which I was quite some time, maybe 3-4 years ago, so I just saw this and I thought, yeah, why not? Yeah, so I mean, that pretty much sums it up. If you got any questions, just leave it in the comments and I will reply as soon as I can. So thanks for watching. Rate, subscribe, comment, like if you want to. Yeah.